One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin, in any sin that he sins. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall a matter be established. If an unrighteous witness rise up against any man to testify against him of wrongdoing, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before Jehovah, before the priests and the judges that shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquiry. And behold, if the witness be a false witness, and has testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he hath thought to do unto his brother. So shalt thou put away the evil from the midst of thee. And those that remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil in the midst of thee. And thine eye shall not pity. Life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. The following reading is from Matthew Henry's unabridged commentary on Deuteronomy 19. Here is a statute for the preventing of frauds and perjuries. For the divine law takes care of men's rights and properties, and is made to hedge about them. Such a friend is it to human society and man's civil interest, a law against perjuries, which enacts 2 things: that a single witness should never be admitted to give evidence in a criminal cause, so as that sentence should be passed upon his testimony, verse 15. This law we had before in number 35:30, and in this book, chapter 17:6. This is enacted in favor to the prisoner, whose life and honor should not lie at the mercy of a particular person that has something against him, and for caution to the accuser not to say that which he could not corroborate by the testimony of another. It is a just shame, which this law puts upon mankind as false and not to be trusted. Every man is by it suspected, and it is the honor of God's grace that the record he has given concerning his Son is confirmed both in heaven and in earth by 3 witnesses. Let God be true and every man a liar. Number 2, that a false witness should incur the same punishment which was to have been inflicted upon the person he accused. If 2 or 3 or many witnesses concurred in a false testimony, they were all liable to be prosecuted upon this law. Number 2, the person wronged or brought into peril by the false testimony is supposed to be the appellant. And yet if the person were put to death upon the evidence, and afterwards it appeared to be false, any other person, or the judges themselves, ex officio, by virtue of their office, might call the false witness to account. Causes of this kind, having more than ordinary difficulty in them, were to be brought before the Supreme Court. The priests and judges, who are said to be before the Lord, because as other judges sat in the gates of their cities, so these at the gate of the sanctuary. There must be great care in the trial, verse 18. A diligent inquisition must be made into the characters of the persons and all the circumstances of the case, which must be compared, that the truth might be found out, which, were it thus faithfully and impartially inquired into, Providence, it may be hoped, will particularly advance the discovery of the sin. If it appeared that a man had knowingly and maliciously borne false witness against his neighbor, though the mischief he designed him thereby was not effected, he must undergo the same penalty which his evidence would have brought his neighbor under. Verse 19. Nor could any law be more just. If the crime he accused his neighbor of was to be punished with death. The false witness must be put to death. If with stripes, he must be beaten. If with a pecuniary mulct, he was to be fined the sum. And because to those who consider not the heinousness of the crime and the necessity of making this provision against it, it might seem hard to punish a man so severely for a few words, speaking especially when no mischief did actually follow, it is added, "Your eye shall not pity." No man needs to be more merciful than God. The benefit that will accrue to the public from this severity will abundantly recompense it. Those that remain shall hear and fear, verse 20. Such exemplary punishments will be warnings to others not to attempt any such mischief, when they see how he that made the pit and digged it has fallen into the ditch which he has made.